Today's episode is presented by Vaer. Vaer was founded with the goal of building an affordable everyday wristwatch that blends tasteful design with extreme durability and functionality. Vaer returns a sense of dignity to affordable wristwatches and are built to last. Vaer is a true American watch company specializing in both quartz and automatic watches. Vaer is offering our listeners 15% off with the offer code PODGO15. That's PODGO15. Go to VaerWatches.com to learn more and get your new timepiece today.
Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat and I'm going upriver and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 235. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for Rated G, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I went upstate one final time. Little birthday celebration for a friend of mine. We went down the river again. It was very nice, although we almost died.
Yeah, because it's the river. Why are you... Listen, dude, you know what? I would have been, like, chilling with the Switch, like, on land, right? Looking at you guys, saying, hey, guys, like, it's cool. Tell me when the yacht or, like, a big boat comes.
You can't get a boat on this river. It's very shallow.
Guess what? That's my point. Point taken. I'm going to be chilling, right? I'll be by the barbecue, like, barbecuing, wait for you guys to get back. Whoever lives...
It's not as fun, Dan. It's not as fun.
Whoever lives can get burgers and hot dogs.
Listen. The river usually treats us well. We went down a slightly different part of the river, and we started a little bit late, right? Because the cutoff is like 5:36. We didn't get out of the river till like almost 7:00. We had to get out early because there was no current. Like we just stopped and we started paddling and I'm like, oh my God. And the water started getting super cold. The sun was going down. Oh my God.
All right. You may not remember this. This was the summer of 2019.
Yeah.
I told you I went up to Rhode Island. I told you for the first time I went canoeing.
Yeah. I remember.
I had to put my body in the boat, right? This little narrow boat. And I'm 6'2.5". I'm almost 6'3". I put my whole body in the boat.
Yeah.
And I was scared shitless, even though it was like 5 feet of water.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
You'd be on your knees and you'd be okay, Dan.
Huh?
I said you could be on your knees and you could be okay in that level of water.
I didn't want to do that. So what the hell makes you think I want to do a river?
It's okay.
I can't stand up in.
Okay. The river has zero rapids. You can stand up in this thing. All right. It's not an issue. It's just this time the current just stopped. So that was a little scary. A 3-hour ride turned into a 4.5-hour ride. That was the first that ever happened. Usually we're like, wow, wish we had more time on the river. This time we're like, get us the hell out of here.
No, I'm good. I am not. That's all you. I'll leave those stories for you. The only story you'll hear from me is I accidentally dropped one of the hot dogs off the grill on the floor. God damn it. Got to feed it to the dog. That's the only story. That right there was scary. That's scary to me. Okay.
I will never call you a risk taker, Dan, all right? I will never call you a risk taker.
I'm a risk taker. I bought the original Xbox One beta machine. Okay.
You're like Ben Stiller in that movie Along Came Polly, where he's like the risk assessor for like giving out like insurance to people. You're that guy who plays it like super safe and doesn't do anything fun.
Listen, I bought the PS3 at $600. I bought two PS3s at $600 by accident.
You did,
and I bought the beta machine Xbox One. Okay, so get out of here. I'm a risk taker.
Well,
I love the Wii U and the Sega Saturn. I'm a risk taker. I'm a risk
It's
taker.
funny you bring up. It's funny you bring up console prices because we got a little bit of that later on in the show. Yeah.
Yes, because we're gonna have an awesome show this week. And coming up later in the show, we're going to talk about the Xbox Series X finally getting a release date. And we're going to talk about PlayStation 5 announcement revealed. But let's just jump into something first that this is making me feel old. I got to say, I really wanted to talk about this because officially I'm feeling old. All right. It wasn't the gray hair that's growing in my beard.
Dan, you are old. All right. We are old. Come on. You got to acknowledge that fact.
It's not the gray hair that's growing in my beard or your beard. It's the fact that WB Kids celebrating 25th anniversary.
I know, man.
Like, do you know what that means? Like, do you understand what that is? Like that.
I do. My math skills are still pretty good.
That's Teen Titans. That's Animaniacs. Well, okay, Teen Titans came out a little bit later, but it's Animaniacs. That's Pinky and the Brain. That's Freakazoid and Tiny Toon Adventures, right?
Batman and Batman Beyond. Come on now.
Batman and Batman.
The classics.
Tiny Toon Adventures had like had a Genesis game and an SNES game. Like that's how old this is. Like,
and a Nintendo game. Had a Nintendo game.
Yeah. Like
I know.
Old. We're old.
I know. It's touchstones. Trust me. At my job, back when we had like an office and everyone was like communing together and all that, I would drop references. People wouldn't know.
I know, because you're an old man.
I made a reference about Onyx, the rap band. And my coworker thought I was talking about the Pokemon. It hurt, Dan. It hurt.
Okay.
I said, we are from two different worlds.
You know what? Maybe they're from an alternate universe.
Well,
maybe you never know. Maybe they're not from the same universe.
It's a possibility.
They're from a different universe. Just like you know what's popular with different universes in the multiverse, right? That's DC Comics. All right, and I was reading something online yesterday that said that the Flash movie that Ben Affleck is coming back to make a cameo appearance for, right? He's going to be back as Batfleck or Batman. That movie will sort of start as a soft reboot for the DC universe, but not ignore everything that's happened already.
Well, it's
right.
It's also beyond Ben Affleck. It's got Michael Keaton there in some capacity.
Yo, how is that possible? You got Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck as Batman in the same movie.
We shall see.
As the Flash.
We shall see.
That's coming. It's late. I mean, it obviously got pushed back and it's slated for summer 2022 release. But how that's going to look when you have Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton both in the bat suit. This is okay. Here's my number one question.
Well, I mean, you're assuming they're both going to be in the bat suit.
Well, they both said they're coming back as Batman, so they have to be in the bat suit. I'm sorry.
Not necessarily.
It didn't say they were coming back as Bruce Wayne. It said it's coming back as Batman.
I mean, technically they said Batman, but we'll see. We'll see what they come back as.
Well, okay. This is what I want to know. Okay, this is my number one question. Will Michael Keaton wear the original Batman suit he wore back in '89?
I don't think that's going to fit him anymore.
It can fit him. Come on.
No offense. I love Michael Keaton. I think he's a badass actor. Birdman was a fantastic movie. And he was great as the Vulture in Spider-Man Far From Home. No, Homecoming. He is fantastic. He's got good acting chops. I don't think... I don't think they're gonna use the same suit. No, he's gonna be in a different
come on,
suit.
2020. Well, what they're gonna shoot it probably next year, like 2021 technology. They can make him fit that suit. I want the Tim Burton suit.
With a lot of CG. I mean, look, I don't know how this is gonna fly. You need to get a really good scriptwriter because you're doing some heavy things, right? Even though it's a comic book movie, you're still gonna make it work.
Well, this is what I think is going to happen. You ready? This is what I think is going to happen.
All right, lay it down.
Since there's a soft reboot, but they're not going to ignore all the terrible films that came before it.
Some of them were good. Wonder Woman was good.
Yeah, okay. That was the only good one. I'm sorry. Aquaman had a low bar to...
Aquaman was a fun movie.
Aquaman had a low bar to reach. I'm sorry. If
that still doesn't make it a bad movie.
Cinematic universe, it would have been one of the worst movies.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it'd be better than Thor, the original one.
No way. Even Thor Ragnarok was better than that.
Thor Ragnarok was fantastic. What do you say?
Well, the second one. Whatever the second one was called.
Oh, Thor the Dark World. Yeah.
Yeah, Dark World was better than Aquaman. I'm sorry. At me. Yeah, in your face. At me. Okay?
Wait, Dan, we share the same social media account. Do not at Dan.
At us. At us.
No.
At us.
No.
At us.
Okay? I don't want to start drama.
All right. I don't care what you say.
We've been like drama free for 5 years. I want to keep it that way.
Listen, I don't care what you say. At us. Oh boy. Okay.
All right. You know what? Bring it. But I'm going to let you answer all those questions.
All right. The worst Marvel movie was better than Aquaman. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance.
So, like Daredevil was better than.
That wasn't in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You didn't say that. You just said Marvel movie.
And Marvel Cinematic Universe.
The original Hulk, directed by Ang Lee, is better than Aquaman.
That wasn't in only the Ed Norton Hulk counts.
the Ed Horton Hulk.
Yeah, the Horton.
Directed by Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, well now they can make Hulk movies since they own the rights now. So
do they?
We talked about that like a year ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or earlier this year, something like that.
Right.
So look, this is what I think they're gonna do. Different universes, right? The Flash, he's going to be in his universe with Batman, and he's somehow going to be in another universe with Michael Keaton, and they're going to beat whatever the villain is, and he's going to be stuck in an alternate universe with the Twilight Batman. Robert Pattinson. He's going to be stuck with a young Batman.
Well, they have to work that in too somehow, right? Like Pattinson.
Yeah,
there has to be a Pattinson
in the
cameo.
Flash. I called it now. It's going to be at the end. And you're just going to see the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Well, look.
Who are you?
If they're doing the alternate reality thing and like Flash with the speed can kind of get in between those different worlds, then that's like your gateway, right? That's like your whatever the word is in cinema for it, right? That's like your reason for all of this, and you can set that up pretty quickly, I think. And then you just have to have like good movie plot logic to say why you're going between these different worlds, right? I mean, maybe you're facing a villain who can go interdimensional. I don't know if DC has one of those. So you have to go to different alternate universes to like beat this guy.
Well, look, the movie Flash has already been in the TV show Flash for the different universes. So you just incorporate that. Like he's running so fast, he's somewhere else, right?
Is he Barry Allen? Is one of those guys Barry Allen?
I don't know. I don't really watch a TV show.
Okay.
But I think Barry Allen was the guy from the original Flash TV show, right? Back in the 90s?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, he was in it. He was in it. Okay. They brought him back. They even brought back the Superman, the 2006 Superman.
Oh, Brandon Routh? Wow.
Yeah, they brought him back too. They brought him back for the TV show.
Not to get too far off topic, I did like Superman Returns. All right? You can at me for that one.
I don't think many people are going to at you because I think everyone believes he was a good Superman. That just wasn't a good Superman script. It wasn't a good Superman movie.
You didn't think it was a good plot or movie, huh?
I didn't think it was a good plot, or they could have made some changes. The execution definitely sucked. And we shall not talk about the Lex Luthor. I said Luger, the wrestler, not to be confused with the wrestler.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, we shall not name him. He's
Yeah, he's under some scrutiny. He's blackballed, I guess, at this point. I mean,
yeah. We shall not talk about him.
No. So moving on.
But look, I think they're going to change. That's how he's going to get stuck in a different universe, and that's how they're going to sort of do a soft reboot.
Okay. Yeah.
But somehow
I get behind that. I get
But
behind
somehow the same, it's going to be a different Batman, but somehow the same Wonder Woman and the same Aquaman is going to be still in it.
They'll make it work. They'll make it work.
Yeah, they'll make it work. Whatever. They'll make it work. Let's talk about something that may not work. And I read this too at the same time, and I thought this was like kind of crazy. So I love RoboCop. Okay, I'm a big RoboCop fan.
First two were great. First two were great. There are only two movies.
Some people say the second one wasn't great. Some people say it. I'm not one of those people.
First one was better, but we all agree that the third one was utter trash.
I think the third one was not. I'm going to be nice and say not as good as the first two.
Yes, it was not as good. It was terrible.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go that far and say terrible. I'm just going to say it wasn't as good.
All right.
Remember, I'm a little bit younger than you, so
it was terrible.
I semi have nostalgic for the third one.
Yeah, well, that doesn't make it good though. See, you just enjoy it. That's different.
I enjoy it more than you enjoyed it. I'm not saying it was great, but
okay, I'll give you that. Like I am well aware that 90% of the cartoons and sitcoms from the 80s were just utter trash and meant to sell you action figures, right? I'm aware of that now. Do I still look fondly back on them? Yes, but I know they're not good shows.
Okay. So I look back more fondly on the third one than you do, but I digress.
All right.
So they're working on, I think we talked about it a while ago. If we didn't, we're going to talk about it right now. The RoboCop, they're working on a prequel series.
No. It's just a prequel. Yeah. Prequel
series.
Uh-huh.
Or unless it would have been the first prequel series to the RoboCop franchise. Now they already tried to reboot the movie, which I got to be honest, wasn't a fan. And
it was okay.
As a side note, we did talk about this. We did talk about this. The original director and writer, I think, of the first movie is coming back to do a sequel to RoboCop, ignoring the RoboCop 2 and 3.
Okay. So are they going to get Peter Weller back to be?
I don't think
RoboCop.
So.
Then I don't
think so. But they're ignoring RoboCop 2 and 3, and coming back and making another sequel. Just like Halloween, when the Halloween movie that came out like 2 years ago, right? They ignored every other Halloween except for the first one.
Pretty much. Even though there was the ones that Rob Zombie made, which were Halloween and Halloween 2, disregarding
those ignored it too.
Disregarding Halloween H2O starring Busta Rhymes, disregarding Halloween 3, which didn't have Michael Myers in it, which, God, that was a travesty.
Listen, I like the one with Busta Rhymes in it. That was the
H2O? Oh, my God. I saw that on a date way back in the day. It was terrible.
You were going on dates back then? You're so older than me. I was still in preschool.
And they had Jamie Lee Curtis in that movie, too, as like a cameo. And I'm like, ugh. She even tries to go in the closet, and she's like, I did that before. I'm not going to do that again, which I thought was
spoilers. They killed her in like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Spoilers for a terrible movie that came out 20 years ago. But anyway.
Yeah. I don't think anybody cares about spoiling H2O. But
that would be the one at us that we get. Someone we spoil.
Yeah, right.
We spoil the Halloween.
So
H2O.
I mean, like the new movies are good. The new ones they put out that were a continuation of the first one, I guess. Those are actually really good.
Well, no, it's only one. It's only one.
Well, they're
Halloween.
I thought
and
they
they're
did
working.
Two.
Huh?
I thought they did 2. Oh, they're working on 2 and 3. They're working on
the
sequels.
second one.
Right, and they're doing a third one too. It's like a trilogy, I think.
Well, yeah. They're working on the third one. Again, hopefully, just kill Michael, please. Just kill Michael Myers. You
can. He's always gonna come back.
Do something different.
He's an iconic villain.
We're going off the rails. Let's go back to RoboCop. Let's go back to technology, right?
Uh-huh.
So they're working on a prequel series that will focus on OCP. I think there was OmniCorp, right? Something like that.
I think it's OmniCorp something or other. That was the big corporation who was kind of. They built the Ed 209, and I think they built the RoboCop robot, right? And he was like the thing that they were developing.
In Detroit, it's sort of like the origin story of OCP.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
and the guy who founded the company, I think, yeah.
Correct. Here's my problem. All righty? If they have RoboCop's not going to be in this because this is sort of a prequel to RoboCop. So RoboCop doesn't exist. Murphy
it's in that universe. Yeah,
it's in the universe. Murphy exists. Will we see Murphy? 100%. Just like in Gotham, where we saw a young Bruce Wayne, right?
We may get some cameos. Yeah,
we may get some cameos from a guy that's being Murphy, right?
Right.
I don't think we'll get Murphy. Won't be directly involved. It'll be some, hey Murphy, give me that paper right there, right? Or take this guy to jail, or whatever, right? And we're like, oh, that's him.
Oh, you think it's just going to be a quick cameo as opposed to like him being integrated into the story?
Correct.
Further on down the line. Oh, I think if they do like more seasons, if they do another couple seasons of this, like they'll like probably get him in the storyline.
Well, Bruce Wayne, the young Bruce Wayne wasn't like an integral part of Gotham. It was all about Commissioner Gordon and the villains.
Yeah.
Right? So I think this is going to be all about how the OCP came together. And Murphy is just going to be a background character.
Well, the thing of it is, like, if you go long enough with the series, then you would get to the point where Murphy becomes RoboCop, right? You would eventually get to that point. If you do 5-6 seasons, then you got to have that moment where like he dies or whatever. And
okay.
back.
So if it's like 5-6 seasons or whatever, and it's like the last episode, right? Just like in Gotham, like the last episode, like he became Batman.
Right, exactly.
Anytime we ever saw Batman.
Yeah, you end up getting to a point where it's like the roads have to converge, and you get to here's the superhero.
I don't think we'll see RoboCop, but I think on the last episode it'll be like Murphy's last day before he was shot.
Right. I mean, it depends how long they go, right? Like, because they want to have some future plot lines and plans. But I don't know. I'm like kind of hyped for this.
My issue is if RoboCop is in the name of the show, it's not going to work because RoboCop is not going to be in the show technically.
Well, I get you, but what do you call it though? That's the question.
Call it OCP.
No one's going to know what that is. I didn't even know what that is until we started like talking about it. And
I don't even know what that is.
That's like the corporation.
It's like the Omri Consumer Products or whatever it's called.
Yeah, you don't even know what it is. You can't even tell what it is.
It's just OCP sounds good.
But no one's going to be like, oh, this is based on that property.
Okay, then what would you call it then?
I don't know. Maybe like Detroit 2099 or something. I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. That has nothing to do with RoboCop.
Well, OCP is not going to get people in the seats. Like you want to be able to grab them. And if you have a esoteric name that's a little like inside baseball, then you got to go heavy on the marketing and you got to let people know that this is in the RoboCop universe and this is going to be a good property. Like,
hey, OCP.
People got to watch it.
OCP subtitle RC for RoboCop.
Oh my God.
OCP RC.
See? Like, there you go. There's nothing that immediately jumps to mind and goes, oh, this is what the name should be. You know.
I'm just saying. Okay, how about this? Detroit OCP. We know it's in Detroit.
Sure. I mean, sure. I think it really comes down to the marketing, right? You know, whatever the name is, you gotta market it heavily. Like, do we know what network this is going to be on?
No, I don't know. What network would you put it on?
Any network that's going to pay me.
I would. This would have to be.
But I would say like Netflix. I'd say
no. It can't be Netflix. I'll tell you why it can't be Netflix. Netflix has this thing with only. And they've openly said they only really want to do three seasons of shows, 3 to 4 seasons of shows.
Yeah, because
like Stranger Things is an outlier.
Stuff gets stale. When you have 10 seasons, you introduce like flying dogs by the end to keep it interesting, and it's terrible.
You know what? If you could do flying dogs really well, a robo dog, then I'm all in.
Spoilers, they never do.
I'm all in. I mean, listen,
it's
Walking
always
Dead,
terrible.
Walking Dead is
always terrible.
Is doing season 11, and that's it. It's done.
Yeah, so, and it hasn't been great for the last like 5 or 6.
No, it's been great. I love The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. I still love The Walking Dead.
It's the same thing over and over again.
Well, it's zombies. What do you want them to do?
Negan was well, exactly. Negan was their last great idea, and you just gotta
he's still there.
That's fantastic. I haven't done anything good since.
Not their last great idea. The Whisperers were the last great idea. I'm sorry. Okay, and he killed them last season, but that's another story.
All right.
I would want this to be a cable show. Like
Jesus,
USA Network.
Old time. We're talking about being old. This is old time Robinson over here.
I wanted to be.
Nobody's gonna watch it on cable. No.
Yes, they will.
No, put it on like HBO. Put it on HBO Max.
Okay, all right. I can do HBO.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it. All right, I can do HBO. All right. As a side note, I want to say congratulations to Ninja. Okay, looks like Ninja is back. He's back with a vengeance, baby.
Making
Talking
bank.
about that old school. Talk about that old school superhero. He's back, and he's back with a vengeance, right? Back in the late '80s, early '90s.
I mean, he's back with a briefcase. I think is more like it. That man's making bank.
A multi-year exclusive deal with Twitch. He's back on Twitch. I mean, talk about a great business decision to leave Twitch to go to Mixer, it not work out, and he signs a multi-year exclusive deal for probably a big briefcase of money to come back to Twitch.
Right, because for people who don't know, like he was the biggest name on Twitch. Microsoft is pushing their Mixer program. They say, hey, let's get the biggest talent. Here's a sack of money for an undisclosed amount of money. I don't know if we know if it was 6 or 7 figures.
It was big. It was big enough to make me jealous.
I'm sure it was big enough to make everybody jealous. So he goes over to Mixer. He's like, fine, okay, I have to play some Gears of War. That's fine. And he switches up his game a little bit, and then within a year, Mixer falls and gets sold to Facebook.
You know what it was? They knew they didn't have Halo for him to play at launch, so they had to just...
I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but
they knew they didn't have Halo for him. I'm sorry.
They tried to get him. They got a Shroud 2, right, which was like number 1 and number 2.
They got the top 3 Twitch guys exclusive to Mixer, and they still couldn't make it work.
And that that just couldn't do it. He was certainly pulling the numbers, but it wasn't rising all tides. It just it wasn't enough. And I guess Facebook came in and said, hey, we want to buy your service. So now it's Facebook Gaming, and who knows what's going to happen with it.
It's going to be Facebook Gaming exclusive to,
the Oculus
headsets.
Oh, see, it's terrible. I hate it then. I hate it.
Yeah, you hate change. You're just all about keeping it the same. You hate change. I know you do. Well, listen, good on you, Ninja. Listen, when he was the first gamer, like on the cover of Sports Illustrated, I felt a sense of pride. Okay, I felt a sense of pride.
Yeah,
I need to find that issue so I can frame it.
Oh,
all right, I do.
It's not that serious.
He's going to go right next to. He's going to go right on the wall, right next to Obama. Okay, sense of pride for me. Sorry.
You probably don't remember Wendell Fatality Holmes.
I have no idea who the hell that is. That sounds like a UFC fighter you created on UFC 21. He was
the first celebrity gamer. He was the guy. He was the Doom and Quake guy.
Was he on Sports Illustrated, on the cover of Sports Illustrated?
No, but he was definitely making bank, and he also had his own line of branded computer parts.
Parts I will never buy from my computer.
A computer you will never put together.
It will always be a work in progress.
Oh, my God.
All right, Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Oh, I'm so happy. We're like right on target. We almost have a perfect record of not starting off the show with the games we're playing right now.
235 episodes, and we've probably only started...
More than that. About like 245, maybe. There's a couple unnumbered episodes in there.
And we probably only started it like 4 times.
Yeah, right.
As we always try to start the show 4 times early on, but epically fail for the other 200 and some odd episodes. Dave, what have you been playing?
Okay, that's a little bit of a mouthful. I liked it the first time better.
Okay.
I got the Trials of Mana remake for the Switch, and I am loving it.
I've been looking to get that when it gets down to $20-$15.
Yeah, I got it for $30. So
yeah, it's still too much for me.
I
can't pay $30 for a game I'm never going to play.
You should, because it's an action game. It is very good, and you can choose your own hero, so you get different adventures. You can choose the other 2 party members, which is super cool. So you have a possibility of 6 different main quest adventers, and then there's you can have up to 2 other party members with you, which is super dope. And they each have different intros. The stories kind of change a little bit based on who's in your party. So it's really good, man. It's really good. I'm digging it. And
I played the demo. Not wasn't a big fan.
See, it takes time. It's not gonna hit you right away.
At least it was maybe the demo was boring. It was just a little.
It's not gonna hit you right away. There is a little bit of exposition in the beginning, and
so it's like a Watch Dogs.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. But like once you start getting into it, then you start getting the party together. And now I'm getting all these cool weapon upgrades, and I'm getting the magic. Like, I'm getting into it now.
Okay.
So, anyway.
I'll leave that to you. I'll buy it if it goes on sale.
How about you? What have you been playing?
So I'm going to shock you. I've been playing a mobile game.
That doesn't shock me. Mobile games are games too, Dan. You got to be inclusive. Mobile games are games too.
All games matter, Dave.
That's right.
I'm not a big mobile fan, but I'm all in trying to get these exclusive Nintendo pins. Okay.
Oh, this guy.
So
are you playing Mario Kart? You playing the Mario Kart mobile to get the pins?
Well, you gotta complete all 6 of the missions, which are super easy to do, right? So I've been playing Mario Kart Tour, the Super Mario Kart Circuit special that's in Mario Kart Tour. You can only play it all up until September 22nd, by the way. So if you're trying to get those pins, you got like another week, if not less.
Are you guaranteed to get the pins then if you complete all these courses?
No. You're guaranteed to get a chance to buy the.
You get a raffle spot. Oh.
Yeah, basically. Like, well, actually, it's not raffle. It's first come, first serve. So
the first one's in.
First ones in are able to do it, and I'm sure you're gonna have to pay for shipping, which is like $5.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've been playing Mario Kart Tour. I played all 9 circuits, right? And got trophies in all of them. It said participate, and people around the internet are like, what does that mean? Do we just play one, or do we play, like, how many do we have to play? It just says participate. So I played them all. Okay, there are 3 races and 1 challenge per per circuit. So I played all 9 just in case. All right. So
and the completion.
I'm making sure, because you don't get the credit for it until September 29th, which is so weird. That's so weird. It ends September 22nd, but you don't get the credit for it September 29th.
Right. So you want to make sure that you get all your entries in.
I want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Okay.
So I did every race they put in front of me, even if it was a challenge race. And it's so easy. It's so easy. So you could do it. So that's what I've been playing.
Okay. I may have to download it and try. I don't want to miss out.
When we take a break and we come back, we get into the top gaming news of last week. And trust me, they're a doozy.
Hey, this is Matt Adler, freelance journalist for IGN, and you're listening to Rated G for Gamers podcast.
And we're back. Oh, we got to talk about the top gaming news of last week. It's a doozy. It's a big one.
Do you need a towel, Dan? You sound a little.
I'm sweating.
You're sweating over here.
It's about time. It's about damn time.
It is about damn time.
Finally got a release date and the price for next gen. And
I know.
Xbox blinked first, but we'll talk about the blink in a second. But I got to start with, it's coming out November 10th, the Series X, November 10th,
right?
And it's coming out for $499, $500.
Yes, it is. $500.
Wow.
$500. People speculated upwards of $6, possibly $7, given the specs. We hit the $500 price mark.
Come on, we knew it had to be like 5, 6, right? It was 5 or 6. It wasn't.
Yeah,
7.
I mean, 5 is the. Well, I mean, 4 would be the perfect price.
They keep going up,
or even
right?
3 would be the perfect price. But yeah,
but they keep going up. I mean, last gen it was like $399, right?
Well, the Xbox One was $500 because it had the Kinect with it.
It was $499 with the Kinect, but the PS4 was $399
because it didn't have a camera built in. Yeah. That's the only reason the Xbox was at that price. But the 360 and the original Xbox, as well as the PS2, were all $300.
Correct.
Right? The Nintendo came out at $200, I think, for like the full set, and $100 for like just the Mario Brothers, I think.
The Wii U? I don't remember.
No. I'm talking about the Nintendo, the OG Nintendo. The Wii U, I think.
Oh, the original Nintendo. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You went way back. You just skipped every other console.
Super Nintendo was 200. PlayStation 1 was 300. So I think they've been going up. Although if you adjust for inflation, it kind of evens out a little bit, and in some cases maybe more money. Like if you look at the 3DO would be like $1,000.
Yes.
So.
But listen. Let's just contain our excitement. Like it's coming out. We finally
yeah, we got the date. I think this is the longest that we've had to wait for a price and release day.
Well, it's coming. We got November 10th, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's $500. I am ready. Listen, like Reggie said, my body is ready, or in this case, my wallet is ready. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all in. Let's get the Series X. Let's get next gen started.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Green Tower of Doom for $500.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready. It's before Black Friday, it's before Christmas. We knew that. There was some speculation that it would be out in like October, December. I said no. All that speculation is trash. It has to be. It's probably going to be November. Maybe whatever comes after the Series X will probably change, but I think there will be suit with the Xbox One X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being in November, right before Christmas shopping, before the Black Friday craziness happens. Even though it's not going to be it's not going to be any discount for the Series X.
No, not at all.
So it's right around what I thought it would be. That's what I'm trying to say.
I if Halo was coming out, it would have been November 15th because that was the original launch of the original Xbox that came with Halo, which was the same release day of Halo 3, which was November 15th, 2007. So they could have continued that trend with Halo Infinite and the new Xbox.
Well, November 10th is a Tuesday. Okay.
Right, which is usually new release
time. The 15th
time.
would have been a Sunday.
Right.
Technically.
I mean, I think it's worth it in that case. And people are going to come buy it anyway. It doesn't matter what day it comes out on. But you're right that Tuesday is typically the new release day, right? Video games and media, DVDs, music, whatever, typically come out on Tuesdays. All right, that's like kind of the thing. That's the standard for whatever reason. I don't know why.
All right.
But
I'm excited. We know it's official. Next gen starts November 10th.
That's right.
So Xbox blinked first, not because they wanted to, because they had to. When I think it was a Windows Central sort of leaked. They leaked the Xbox Series S, the worst kept secret, which was Project Lockhart, right? The diskless Xbox console, and we got that. That is real. They actually leaked it, and then Microsoft just turned around on Twitter and said, "Oh well, all right. Well, since the cat's out of the bag, they left a gift that was like the cat out of the bag." I was like, "All right, well, we might as well just own it." And yeah, it's real. The Xbox Series S is the smallest Xbox ever made. I love how they hyperbole, right?
All right. And let's not like bury the lead, Dan. What's the price? What do they have this console out at?
It is well, as of right now, it stands as the cheapest next gen console at $299.
Yeah,
it is $200 cheaper.
It will be
Series X. Yes,
both these consoles, the Series S and the Series X, will be cheaper than the PlayStation.
But let's
guarantee it.
No. Yeah, I mean, I believe you. I believe that. However, the Series X, the Series S, it's not cheaper just because it doesn't have a disk drive. It is a lower spec machine. Let's be fair.
Slightly, slightly.
It's not going to be like a quadruple 1,000 teraflops like the Series X is. Right?
The Series X isn't quadruple 1,000 teraflops. I don't even think that's a number.
It
will be. I mean,
it will be.
It's definitely going to be slightly lower spec, but it will still play Series X games, right? It is a next gen console, just a slightly lower powered next gen console. How much of a difference that's going to make? I think what you're trying to get at is like how much of an impact is it going to be on the
there is a little bit of debate with developers like that's been going on online as far as like the lower spec is detrimental where some developers say it's detrimental and other developers say it's okay. So I really don't want to speculate on that until they're actually released and we have them in hand and we can actually tell what games look like. I mean, you're going to take you're automatically going to take sort of a visual hit from it because it's not as powerful graphically as the Series X.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get 1080p as opposed to like 4K out of the games.
Yeah.
And you may get some effects that are turned off, or they'll do some visual trickery to kind of make it still seem like the same game, visually, but like they're really doing all this stuff behind the scenes, variable resolutions and all this other like crazy stuff.
But the Series S, even though it's $299, will still be it's still more of a powerhouse than the Xbox One X is.
It is
right now. Which means I'm going to go out on a limb, okay, and say the Xbox One X, which is they stopped production on that.
Yeah,
is going to get a serious discount on Black Friday. So if you want,
they have to get rid of all the extra ones. Yeah,
they got to get rid of them. So if you want a Series X, I'm going to say not the Series X. Already the naming has already confused me.
I know,
and I'm a semi-expert. The Xbox One X will be $200 on Black Friday.
You're probably right. Now, are they still making the One S?
No.
They're not making any Xbox One consoles anymore.
They've halted production on old models. They're all in on the Series X and S.
Right, the Series X and the S. So that makes sense. I think now, given the price point of this new console, I think that's okay. Given their stance on backwards compatibility, I think that's okay. I am very happy about these two price points. I don't know about you, but
I think I was kind of surprised, only in the sense that I thought the Series S will be a Series X, except for without a disk drive. So I wasn't counting on it being sort of another. It technically is another tier, right? Like it's not the same as the Series X. It's next gen, but it's not on that level.
Well, I think it's the same as the original Xbox and the Xbox One X, right? It's just out at launch as opposed to like a mid-generation upgrade.
Well, here's the thing here's the issue with some developers, right? Not going to be an issue for first-party developers, but it's going to be an issue for third-party developers, where Microsoft says like your games must be cross-generational, right? So now you got to worry about the beta machine, the original Xbox One X, your game working on that, your game working on the Xbox Series S, already the naming, the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series S, which is a different spec than any of the other machines, and it has to work at the highest spec, which is the Xbox Series X.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if your game engine is built properly, then scalability shouldn't be a problem. You build for the lowest common denominator, and then you start turning on features when you have more headroom, right? Like, the problem is, though, I think a lot of these game engines aren't scalable in that way necessarily. Like Unreal 5, the Unreal Engine 5, yes. id Tech, whatever version id Tech that they're on, that Doom Eternal was running on, I think is okay. But some of the other game engines, like I think Capcom's game engines and whatnot, I don't think they're scalable in that way. So they're going to, like some companies, I think you're right, some companies are going to have a hard time. Because, yeah,
eventually they're going to get, not eventually, like soon, they're going to run into an issue where it's like, sorry, this game is going to be, Xbox Series X or above. Xbox One X or above.
Oh, well, I don't even think they can wave that flag for that long. Like, really? I give it like a year before they drop it. Well, no, I mean, it's just it's a matter of practicality. Like, eventually, they're going to be biting themselves. They're going to be shooting themselves in the foot, right? Because you're going to have all these. You have such a low entry point to the next generation systems that you only have to cater to the people who don't want to buy it just yet for a little while, right? And I think that's like a year. Like once you start getting like the Halo game out there, and you get the new Gears of War game, and maybe like I don't know, a new Sea of Thieves or Crackdown or whatever's coming internally from their 12 companies. Once we start getting some of that stuff out there, like then it's like, why would you not buy a next gen console? All right, and then I don't think you have to cater to the old guard anymore, right? Like the previous generation. Maybe that's like just me. I don't know.
That's not what Phil Spencer said. He said we're going to support everything going back to the original Xbox One X. I mean Xbox One.
I mean,
said,
I understand
beta machine,
what he said.
It must run on the beta machine.
I understand what he said.
Good. He didn't say
I understand what he said, but that's not going to last for the life of the machine.
I
because like a console generation is 5 years.
I say in 2022 they drop support for anything lower than the X, the One X.
Yeah, I mean that would be helpful. You know, that would be helpful. I guess we kind of have to see how this is all going to play out, because everybody likes to talk a big game before their console comes out, and then like 6 months later, like you don't have the feature anymore, right? Like the custom playlists in the original Xbox.
Correct.
They end up just like forgetting about it after a while. It's like,
but I just love how next gen has started with a leak, and it's like if the cat's out the bag, okay, we could do it. All right, yeah, it's $500, $300, and it's coming out November 10th.
Yeah. So I mean, if and then like I think we're both in agreement that the PlayStation is going to be more than this, right?
And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Reasons.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Why did Microsoft wait so long? Right?
A game of chicken, right?
But what was the purpose of it? Like I thought it was like a pricing war. And now it turns out to not be a pricing war.
Well, here, you want to wait till the last possible minute to where the competition can't pivot and say, all right, well, if they're going to go that price, we can go that price now, right? At this point,
you would think Sony would take that bit of a hit to like be that competitive.
Yes. Well, at this point, it's like, all right, they're locked in. Like they can't change. Like we know we can't change, so they can't change either, right? So,
yeah. I mean, I guess
so
I guess that like kind of makes sense, because Sony could go, well, you're going to go 500. We were going to go 6, but now we're going to go 550. Or they may be at 5 and they may say like, hey, we're going to go 480. They're going to pull some like weird stuff. So, all right, I guess that's a reason. Yeah.
You're going to wait. If you're confident that like, all right, it's like poker, right? Like they were playing poker and seeing which one was going to fold first.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, I'm confident in my hand. I know I got a better hand than you. Right. So I'm just going to make sure that you can't switch any cards out or anything. Like I'm going to make to the last minute to where it's all done, where you have to show your hand.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. It's crazy weird times with like the pandemic going on. So everything is up in the air. I mean, I've never seen it this crazy in the gaming world. I've never seen a price release come this late.
All right. Well, there's a lot of things. Listen, there's a first for everything, right? But let's stick with the Xbox Series S. All right. So this is a system that is the smallest Xbox ever made. It is really small. It is white.
It's tiny, man.
That is the leaked controller that leaked a few months ago. That is the correct controller for this system.
Yep. Not surprising.
I got to be honest. It looks kind of ugly to me. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
It's
this guy who likes the weird like Ninja Blade PlayStation 5 console.
No, you say Ninja Blade. It looks like a trench coat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good look for a console.
Yeah, the trench coat look like this. Well, this has got a big black pimple in the middle of the console.
It's a fan, Dan. If you know anything about computers, you need to have exhaust for all the heat.
You know what? It sort of has the form factor of the SAD edition or the Xbox S edition. It's just a little bit smaller, and those editions look great because the vents are sort of on the sides of the console.
Right.
But this is like a big, giant black pimple in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, the Series X has it too. They just have it on the top.
Well, we all thought it would look like a tower, just like a smaller tower. Like
everyone wanted it to be a GameCube. They wanted it to be the size of a GameCube.
Even I wanted it to be a GameCube.
Mm-hmm. And it certainly could have been if they architectured it properly, but they obviously felt that this was the best in terms of proper airflow and kind of fitting everything into like this neat little package. So, I mean, they know what they're doing, looks aside. Looks aside. They know what they're doing for performance.
Definitely looks aside. I think...
Listen, you can grate some cheese on the side of it while you're waiting for your game to download.
There we go. We went from it looked like a GameCube to a cheese grater.
Hey, it's got multi-purpose, Dan. It's got multiple uses. All right,
but
you can use it in the kitchen.
Not all is good with the Xbox world. Mm-hmm. Okay, with the Xbox Series S at least, it's been confirmed that the Xbox Series X will not, and I repeat, not run Xbox One X enhanced versions of backwards compatible games. Mm-hmm. All right, let that sink in. Let me say that one more time. Mm-hmm. The Xbox Series S will not, and I repeat, not run Xbox One X enhanced versions of backwards compatible games. So all the games that were backwards compatible, okay, that were enhanced for the Xbox One X,
right?
It will not run that enhancement.
Right.
It'll run the original game.
The new Assassin's Creed games, the new Gears of War games, all the ones that have the HDR and the whatever else, and all that stuff. Yeah, not going to work. And that's interesting because the Series S, is a new console generation.
Listen, even the backwards compatible 360 and Xbox, the original Xbox games that were enhanced for the Series X, will not run the enhanced version. It will only run the original version.
Yeah, that's also a little bit weird. But so if you look at the raw numbers on paper, some of those numbers are less than the Xbox One X, like number to number, right? Pure math. This is a 3.2, this is a 2.8, but they're more efficient, more efficient cores in the CPU. It's a more efficient GPU. It's got more efficient storage on there, right? So where the raw numbers don't necessarily match up, it is more powerful, but you need to orchestrate your game in a way that takes advantage of that power, right? And I think that's why they would have to do some magical trickery to make that go, right? So what that confirms to me is that the Series X has enough headroom to just run these games. And the Series S doesn't have the headroom to run these games without doing some magical trickery, right? I think that's kind of where that comes down. I mean, it doesn't matter to us. We're still going to get the Series X, and everything's going to be all right with the world. But and I honestly don't think people are going to be that crazy if they get the Series S. I don't think a lot of people are really going to notice necessarily or really care that much. I think it's more of a value to be able to play the game, right? Because I think at the end of the day, that's what really matters, right?
Well, you know what really matters to Microsoft right now? Mm-hmm. The all digital feature.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
what they're betting on. Everyone was saying Nintendo's going to go third party eventually, right? Everyone wants Nintendo to go third party. Surprisingly, if I had to put money on it, Microsoft would be the one going third party. We would see Game Pass and Halo and Gears of War on your telephone, on your Switch, on your PS7, right?
Yeah,
like that's what we would see.
Yeah, I mean that's what they said. That was their whole.
That's their whole initiative.
Well, that was their E3 conference last year. They capped it off at the end by saying, "The future is digital."
Yeah,
that was their mic drop moment. They're like, "We're going all in on this. Get ready."
So Microsoft has taken one more step in all digital future. Mm-hmm. Right? They got Games Pass, which is an awesome value if you are a digital player, especially if you're a PC guy, right? And they have that Games Pass Ultimate that works with PC, and most of it, if not all the Halo games, I think are on Ultimate, where you can play them on your PC. But Games Pass Ultimate now has an added value of having EA Play for free. Mm-hmm. Right? This is a subscription service that's I think Ultimate is like $15 a month. Mm-hmm. And EA Play is only $5 a month.
Yep.
Right, where you can play all the EA games before they come out. Like, we always talk about the chart of release date for the chart. If you have EA Play, you can play the game a week before it comes out, right? And then you play the Ultimate Edition 3 days before it comes out, and you can play the,
you get a 10-hour free trial for select new releases in that like EA Play thing. There are 89 titles that you get that are going to be coming to Microsoft's Game Pass, which is amazing. Rocket Arena, Need for Speed Heat, all the sports games, Mass Effect, all the Mass Effects, Anthem, FIFA, NHL, Madden, like. So
if let's just say, for argument's sake, you have a Switch on the go. The Switch is your on the go machine, right? You're a diehard PlayStation guy, but you have an Xbox Series S, the all digital edition, as your secondary or thirdary console. Right, because it's cheaper.
Tertiary is the word. Tertiary.
Whatever. I'm making up words here. That's what we do at Rated G.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's what we do. Okay, right? At us. That's a we. Okay, we God. Make up words. Guy.
Causing drama. Causing drama.
All right, we do this. We're together. All right, we do this together. All right. So it's great because you get all the first party games at launch. Right. So you can have Xbox Series S. You can have Games Pass for $15 a month. It fits in any sort of entertainment center, even though it's white. I hate that, but I digress. That's another argument for another day. And you can play all the first party games and EA games on EA Play for free. And if you already have EA Play, it's okay, because in the fall when this goes into effect, I'm going to assume it goes into effect like in November at some point. Your EA Play account will be sort of discontinued, and it'll just be the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate account.
Right. So, right.
And again, I think we talked about this when we first started the show. It was hard to cancel your EA Play account because it was like $5, and it was hard to cancel.
Right.
And people were complaining about that. Like you had to jump through like hoops and wait an hour to cancel your EA Play. Now you can just do Games Pass Ultimate and you have EA Play and you're good.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about any of that.
Right. I mean, this is like a huge win, man. This is a huge win. Coupled with we didn't necessarily mention it, but there are bundle deals where you can finance the Series S and the Series X for I think $25 and $35 a month, right?
Correct, but that's if you have good credit and at certain retailers.
Well, sure, but you get Games Pass in that like 24 months on like both systems. The systems work out to under what the price would be normally, right? So it works out to like $240, $250 for a Xbox Series S, and you get Games Pass included with that. You don't have to pay for any games whatsoever. You can just play whatever's on that platform. That's a pretty good deal. That's an
awesome deal if you have the credit. That's an awesome deal. It's like leasing a car.
Everyone's got good credit. Come on now. Everyone's got decent enough credit. I don't know what kind of credit you're going to need to get an Xbox here, but I don't think it's going to need to be like $850. I think it'll be fine.
Listen, this is the way you can build your credit technically.
I mean, yeah, true. So it's
a great value. I'll admit that it's a great value. It's the all digital future that I am fighting tooth and nail.
We are very much against it.
We're fighting this. We're together.
Exactly.
We're together. All right, let's shift gears. One shoe is dropped, even though that shoe was forced to drop. The shoe was forced to drop. That shoe was thrown on the electrical wire on the pole. Right. Mm-hmm. What is PlayStation? What is Sony going to do? Not soon after Microsoft announced that, you know what? The leak is true. We're just going to put it out. Pre-orders are going up September 22nd. We were going to announce this September 22nd, everyone, which we don't know it's true, but I think it was true. They were announced in September 22nd when pre-orders go live. PlayStation announced that they have an announcement on Wednesday. Right?
Yeah. Well, you know what that says to me? Microsoft and Sony had these in the can already, and they were waiting to put 100%. Them out. They were just waiting to put them out.
Listen, right? Sony. I tell you why I think Sony was always going to announce theirs on Wednesday. Which technically, if Microsoft was, if you're going to believe them, and when they said they were going to announce it next week on September 22nd, at least when pre-orders go live, that means Sony was going to go first. They were going to blink first because they're going this Wednesday. Which, if you listen to the show when the show comes out, that means it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
On PAX West Online, they have a showcase on PAX West Online, right? So I'm gonna assume that there's gonna be something dealing with PS5 in a game that
you would
we
assume.
haven't announced a gameplay, right?
You would assume. Maybe
They had this in the bag. This is why I think Sony was always gonna go Wednesday. They announced that the showcase that they have, or the state of play, or whatever the showcase is 46 minutes long. That means I think this is what I think we're going to get. The price.
It's going to be 46 minutes of just the console and the price.
No, I think we can get the price, and I think we're going to get the launch lineup. Okay, not just first party. It may be something that we don't. I think we're going to get Spider-Man. It'd be a launch window. Ratchet and Clank launch window, and maybe something we never heard of. Maybe something we didn't hear. They didn't say. They kept something close to the vest. We're gonna get Knack 3. We're gonna get that Knack 3 game.
Very surprised.
We're gonna get that Knack 3 game that everybody's been clamoring for. Maybe
Knack 3 would be really funny if that came out.
That would be funny.
I would be like, bravo, Sony.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
Bravo.
But what if we got 46 minutes of gameplay? It's okay, all jokes aside, I'm going to agree with the internet, even though this is not my type of game. I think the Demon Souls remake will be a launch game along with Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank. Something for everybody.
Yeah. Right? I mean, the more you have, the better. You got to have a racing game in there too. So I'm assuming one of those upcoming racing titles will be in the mix.
So, what's the major thing? The major thing is, what do we think the price is going to be? Now, here's the big difference with Xbox and Microsoft and Sony. Okay, the Series S is a lower spec model than the Series X.
A little bit, yeah.
That is not the case with the PlayStation, right? The PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 All Digital Edition is the same spec. It just doesn't have a hard drive. So, this is what I think. I think it will be $4.99 for the disc edition, and the all digital edition will be $3.99. So altogether, we'll have a $2.99 for next gen. We'll have a $2.99 model, $3.99 model, and two $4.99 model. I will be very surprised.
That would be the dream.
I'll be very surprised.
That would be the dream.
If the PlayStation 5 is $599. But even if it is $500, I think the popularity of it would still sell. It wouldn't be a PS3 type
I
situation.
was just gonna bring up, there is precedent for the $599 system. And
true, but that was two generations ago. Even before the PS4.
Well, I mean, if you
PS3,
yeah, but I mean, if you go with inflation, if you go with inflation on these like machines, a $599 machine from Sony wouldn't necessarily be out of the question. If they want to be competitive, then you would put it at $499.
If they wanted to be competitive, they would have went back to the drawing board and not announced an event on Wednesday. Because they announced the event on Wednesday so quickly, they feel confident in the price, and I think they know the price is going to be $500. I think they said, "Oh my God, it's $499. Oh, okay, we're good. We have ours at $399 and $499, and we're going to market it as $500 for next gen, and our lower end all digital edition is not a lower spec machine. It's the same machine, just no disc." And it's $399. That's how we're going to market it. So we're confident in that.
I do think the $100 price differential is going to be there. $500 would be good. Maybe they can hit that mark. If Microsoft can hit that mark and it has a comparable system to Sony, then maybe Sony can do that too. And then if that's the case, if they hit the $500 mark for the high end, the other one's going to be $100 difference. Even though it doesn't cost them that much for the extra parts and the whatnot. So I think they're taking a hit. Well, Microsoft's taking a hit too, for sure. I think everybody's taking a little bit of hit on these systems, just to get them out the door, to get them in people's houses, because they'll make all the money up on the licensing and the games and the accessories and all that, right? And you get it installed in your house, and then you're an Xbox family or you're a PlayStation family. So, like, that's the idea. So if they want to be aggressive,
listen, Dave, episode 236, we're gonna know what the price is, because that's gonna be the lead story.
I certainly hope so.
That's going to be the lead story. That's going to be the lead story. We're going to know what the price is and know what the launch lineup is.
If Sony pulls out of the bait and switch and they're like, yeah, here's some more stuff about the internals of the system, I am going to freak. Just give us the damn price.
I know.
I don't know.
We're going to get the price.
How much my bank account.
Don't worry. We're going to get the price.
I mean, look, $1,000 for 2 systems. It's a lot of money, but it's not what I was ultimately expecting to pay. I was thinking upwards of $1,200, to be honest.
No, I was expecting 500.
I mean, that's ideal. That's ideal, but I mean, all right. So we'll know come Wednesday. Yeah.
So, all right, let's shift gears and go third party. Let's talk Ubisoft. All right. I've still been. I'm going to beat the original Watch Dogs on the Wii U, because.
You better, Dan. You keep playing it.
I think Watch Dogs is a little bit underrated. Just saying. It's still a good game. And speaking of Watch Dogs, we got a Ubisoft Forward event that just happened. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm playing Aiden from the original Watch Dogs, and he will be in Watch Dogs 3.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Well, it's kind of cool, but it was kind of weird and kind of whack that it was like, we know you guys have been asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden, the original guy in Watch Dogs, will be in London for some reason. We can't tell you why.
No one's really been asking for it, but it's cool.
No one's been asking for it, but it was a little weird. But I was happy. I personally was vindicated. I was like, I think the original Watch Dogs was super underrated.
Well, who was the person you played in 2? Why aren't they in this game?
I think he's in it too. I think they sort of soft announced he's in it too. I don't remember, or maybe they were making fun of that on one of the IGN shows.
Because I know you don't play as Aiden in the second.
You don't play as Aiden. They actually. Went from Chicago to San Francisco. They went from Aiden, more of a dark character, to I forgot the guy's name. He's a black character in San Francisco, so they have diversity. Right. And I thought that character was pretty cool. I played maybe 3 hours of Watch Dogs 2. I thought it was okay. Now that I'm almost done, I'm like 3 hours away from beating the original Watch Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back to Watch Dogs 2 at some point, because Watch Dogs 3 is going to come out, and I'm going to just get into that and forget about it. It probably will be a retro game show at some point later next year. Watch Dogs 2, that is.
Marcus Holloway is the guy's name.
Yeah, he may be in Watch Dogs 2. I mean, Watch Dogs Legion.
I mean, I would assume, I would assume, yeah.
So I am looking forward to Watch Dogs Legion, especially now that Aiden's in it, because I think
now you got a connection.
Was underrated.
Now you got a connection. There you go. Yeah, sure.
He was underrated. This is the Ubisoft sort of E3 event we should have got earlier in the year. I'm sorry. We should have got what they gave us at sort of at E3 in June, and this combined. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
Well, I mean, that obviously would have been their presentation. Yeah.
It would have been a presentation. They did show Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake, the worst kept secret in the world.
They did show it. That is true.
It's coming out. It is coming out for most consoles. Coming out for PS4 and Xbox One, January 21st, 2021. It is not coming out for the Switch, at least that date. It probably will come out for the Switch at a later date. But it looks like graphically it should be on the Switch day one, because it didn't look good.
Graphically, it should be on the Wii U. This game looks terrible. Listen, I don't want to knock on Ubisoft, but yeah, it looked weird. It looked like to me that they took the models, the polygon models from the original game, and just gave them better textures. I don't know.
Hopefully, Prince of Persia, they can sort of work on the graphics a little bit before it gets released, or not, and release it for the Switch the same day, because that's really the platform I want to play it on, if it's going to look like that, to be honest. It's the first, they touted it as the first remake in Ubisoft history. but it definitely is not on the same level as
Is that true?
Yes, they made a big deal about it. It's like the first Ubisoft remake, and it's not on the same level as Link's Awakening or nowhere near. Oh my god, Resident Evil 2.
No, it's just this is something.
Like they had
there's a lot missing.
They had the voice actors, the same voice actors. I think there was one voice actor that couldn't make it. I forgot who it was. They had most of the original voice actors come back and do mocap.
Right.
And it's like a side project that they don't really care about because the graphics
it shows.
it shows, right? So I mean, listen, overall, this Ubisoft Forward was kind of uneventful, with the exception of we got to the worst kept secret. We knew that was coming. It's kind of weird it's not coming to the Switch. Gods and Monsters, which was renamed to Immortals, Phoenix Rising, which is a Zelda Breath of the Wild clone. Looks pretty cool. It's coming out this year. It's coming out December 3rd, 2020. Funny enough.
That's right.
In Stadia, because Ubisoft loves Stadia. They're like, they're married to each other.
That was the first game on the Stadia platform, Assassin's Creed Origins or Odyssey, right?
Yeah, they're getting like an exclusive demo or something like that, which is cool. I'm not bashing it at all. I'm happy for Stadia. This is the thing that they need to get people in. It's just not going to work for me. At the end of it, they had some Riders Republic, which looks like I thought it was like a Steep meets Fortnite type of game, which is a weird thing to end your conference with because no one knows what the hell it is. It very much
had those vibes, right? It was like a battle royale, downhill, extreme sports game. Yeah, a little odd. I do have to say, like everything else was kind of a little underwhelming, but they dropped, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this because I love this game. The Scott Pilgrim game coming to the Nintendo Switch, the complete edition.
Well, it's coming everywhere. It's going everywhere.
Well, it is. But most importantly, it's coming to the Switch.
They delisted it, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, the digital future! This is terrible." Because if they delist the game, you won't be able to play it. Just like they will delist the Super Mario 3D All Stars game.
I know. Eventually, it's going to come down from the store. I still have this game on my 360, the Scott Pilgrim game. It's fantastic.
Wow, that 360 is just lost value because that was coming out.
That's fine. I was never going to sell it anyway, but I got it on the hard drive, and I play it every now and again. It's a fantastic beat 'em up in the same way that the Streets of Rage 4 game is a fantastic beat 'em up. Like just everything about it is just perfect. Very happy. There's no new content, but they do have all the DLC that comes with it, so super hype.
Well, look, I'm just saying. You think that was the best thing? How about Just Dance 2021?
I forgot about the best announcement. How could I forget?
Come on, is that coming out on the Wii or the Wii U? That's the thing that sucks. That's it. That's the final nail in the coffin. Ends the Wii and the Wii U.
Yeah,
this is it. No more.
Right. So from like 2000 whatever up until now, they were still making Wii compatible Just Dance games.
I know.
That's wild.
I know. But the game that they really are touting is Assassin's Creed this year. The new Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And now that Microsoft has gone first, even though their hand was forced, we now know that Assassin's Creed, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and Dirt 5 will be there for the release date of the Xbox Series X as launch games. Well, sort of. Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be a launch game November 10th. It's coming out. They moved they sort of put a date on it because they just said holiday. Now it's coming out November 10th. Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is an exclusive, at least for a year, on the Xbox Series X. First Yakuza game to be exclusive on the Xbox platform.
Yeah, that's just weird, right?
That will be exclusive on day one, coming out November 10th. But Dirt 5 is interesting because that's going to release a week prior, November 3rd, on current gen platforms. But then you can buy it for the upgrade version. You can buy it on the Xbox Series.
Well, there you go. There's your 120 hertz 4K next generation racing game that you can play on your Xbox on day one. That's not bad. Yeah. I was actually watching a video of it just before, and they have a track that is New York City, but it's all iced over. So you get to basically race on the Hudson underneath the bridges and flying around while there's like fireworks going off. It looked kind of cool. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie.
We did a lot of Xbox talk. We talked a little bit of PlayStation. Come on, Charlie, as my boss would say. Come on, Charlie. And I look at him and I'm like, who the hell is Charlie?
I was just going to say.
I'm not Charlie. He says, come on, Charlie. I'm not that old. Let's talk about Nintendo. Let's talk about the Switch, right? Like, what's coming out on the Switch this year? Come on. We know we're getting three ports, the Mario All-Stars, 3D All-Stars. That's coming out this week. We know we're getting Pikmin 3, which is another port. Are we getting any original games this year? And yes, we are. We're getting Zelda game. Are we getting Breath of the Wild 2? Or if Dave, messes up the name again, Breath of the Wild 2.
That was all you, Dad.
No.
That was all you. You refused to go back and listen. You refused to go back and listen. Episode 35, I think. Breath of the Wild.
235 episodes. You go back and listen and hear Dave screw up the name, but that's okay.
Is it? Is that what happened? Is that what happened? It's revisionist history, just like The Flash.
No. It's exactly what happened.
Right? It's
same universe.
In this weird alternate universe where I messed up the name of that episode. Okay.
Same universe.
That exists. Same
universe. But listen, are we getting a new Zelda game? Yes. Is it Breath of the Wild 2? No. It is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. It is the Dynasty Warriors game, sort of, that we got, the Hyrule game, right? The Hyrule game, which I liked. I have it. I must like it. I have it for the Wii U, the 3DS, and the Switch.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun game.
However,
definitely a fun game.
If you like Breath of the Wild, this is a prequel to Breath of the Wild because it's set 100 years before Breath of the Wild. It gets into the events of Calamity Ganon and how, sort of the four warriors, were defeated. By the way, side note, if you're an amiibo collector, the warrior amiibo will be re-released for the launch of Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
It makes sense, right? Because you're gonna get that tap to get extra life or whatever, or get that new costume.
If you are into any of the Dynasty Warrior games, especially if you're into the story, you really need more than just one protagonist. You need a lot of different protagonists. So you're gonna get to play as Link in the four warriors, right? So it's 5 protagonists right there. Imagine who else you play as Zelda.
You're definitely gonna play as Zelda because she's already in. She's already in the other one.
No, that's true. I haven't played it in a while. It's been a minute.
And there is also the female Link called Linkle, which
I don't think that's not like canon, so I don't think that's gonna be.
That doesn't matter.
It's
already in a Hyrule Warriors game. It's canon enough for that game.
It's 100 years. It's 100 years before Breath of the Wild, so it's gonna be a lot of characters who probably don't even exist in Breath of the Wild, right?
I mean, she never existed except for that game.
So. I'm looking forward to this. I am all in on this.
I mean, it's not Breath of the Wild 2, but it still should be a good game. Right?
But it's supposed to come out. It's slated for a release holiday this year, so I'm going to say December. And you know what? I'm lying. It's supposed to come out November 20th. Sorry.
Yeah, well, just around Thanksgiving.
And you know what? November 20th is a Friday, and I think. And we sort of skipped this part, but that'll be
Black Friday, actually. I think, if I'm not mistaken, or it could be a week before. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right.
I think that may be Black Friday. So
November 20th.
Maybe it'll be on sale.
Friday. No, actually, you're not. No. That's a week before. Black Friday is the 27th.
Okay.
I think the PlayStation 5 will be released November 20th, that Friday. Or the 17th, which is that Tuesday.
Sure.
Could be, right?
I could see that.
I'm gonna
gotta be sometime before Christmas.
I'm gonna buy this game. I'm gonna buy this game day one. I like the Dynasty Warrior games. It's a game that you can play and listen to podcasts like Rated G for Gamers or Saturday Morning Retro, Rated G for Gamers.
That's right.
But what about the original? What about Zelda 2? Everybody wants to know Zelda 2, Breath of the Wild 2. I think it's coming out next year because they did say something about. We talked about this, I think, last year that Nintendo sort of the new management, the new guard of Nintendo wants to put out a new Zelda game every year, some type of Zelda property every year.
Right. So it's a bit ambitious, but I could see it.
They have a Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity coming out this year, which is sort of a prequel to Breath of the Wild. I can see Breath of the Wild, and they did mention Breath of the Wild too. They just said it's in development. I can see Breath of the Wild being sort of a Majora's Mask. Not it's open world, but you're confined to a certain area, right? Because there's an issue, right, that you have to solve. Problem you have to fix. I can see this game coming out next year. This is the big game for 2021.
I mean, I would hope so.
But we
they need Mario, Zelda, or like a Metroid.
Well, Zelda's anniversary is next year.
It is,
right?
Yeah, that's right. So 87. Yeah.
I can see Breath of the Wild coming out next year as sort of the anniversary edition, but just like their original Breath of the Wild was launched with the Switch, we talked about a Switch Pro coming out, and Bloomberg reports that Nintendo has been telling third-party developers to make sure their games are 4K ready, which is sparking the rumors for this new Switch Pro. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say the new Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, which is going to be the big game for Nintendo next year, is going to
launch with the new system
for the new Switch Pro.
That'd be nice.
What do you think?
That'd be nice. It's certainly possible. I honestly thought they would have had an updated model, a like pro version model by now. I mean, you definitely do want to have a good game to come out with your like bump, right? When the Xbox One X came out, there was Assassin's Creed Origins, right? That was like a big game at that time. So you can play it. It's Xbox One X enhanced, right? It was a nice, like, I picked them both up together, and it was like kind of a nice little thing, something new to play in the system. So I'm with you on that. This would be, well, I mean, technically Breath of the Wild was in development for a long while, but that came out, 2017? It'd now be 4 years later, 2021. I think that's a good development cycle if they use the same game engine, if they use the same kind of art style.
It's going to be the all same thing.
Right.
It's just going to be more confined space.
Right. I mean, if they end up doing that, like I could totally see that happening, and that'd be freaking fantastic. I am definitely ready for a new Zelda. Yeah, that'd be solid. Now, I mean, I do want to say about this like 4K situation with like, the better textures and the whatever else and the better resolution, that it's probably not going to be 4K on the go, because I think that's going to take a lot of power to run that. And I think they're going to do some trickery like they do with the PS4 Pro right now, right? With the checkerboarding. And there's been some talk of them using NVIDIA's DLSS, which is basically like AI for your graphics. So where the textures aren't necessarily like high-res 4K, whatever, like 4096 by 4096 or whatever it is, but the computer chip does some processing, and it kind of enhances it, and it looks the part, right? Like I was watching a video on Control about it, and it's bananas. Like you can see like the individual hairs and whatnot, and it's DLSS up from like 1080p or whatever, right? They kind of do all this like cool stuff with it. So,
well, why can't they just upgrade the dock? Do you think we're gonna get a new Switch, or do you think we're gonna get like an updated? Like this is a dock that can present in 4K upscaling to your TV if you have a 4K TV.
I don't think it's a dock, because the only thing about the dock is that it's got power, right? So you're not running off the battery. So I don't necessarily I don't think it has any extra architecture or like a chipset or anything in there to like enhance it.
What if the new dock? The Switch Pro dock or the Super dock?
So it would just be a dock upgrade as opposed to a system upgrade?
Do you think that? I mean, you're the tech guy. Is that possible to up-res in 4K if you have a 4K dock?
Anything is possible, but I think they would put on a whole new unit, because I think the dock is really just for like charging and hooking up other peripherals to it. I'd say we get a beefier unit. I think, because then you can also get better performance on the go, right? Which would be kind of nice. You get more RAM in there, maybe like a faster CPU. Just like some like little things to like keep them competitive.
We're gonna get a faster CPU, better dock, and we're gonna get an up-res screen. Yeah, you're right. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right, let's end this episode I'm gonna do it. I always like to end it with like a good feel good story or something different. But I'm gonna end it with a semi controversial story that really honestly shouldn't be controversial. I shouldn't have to talk about this. This shouldn't be a footnote.
This is freaking ridiculous.
This shouldn't be a footnote. This shouldn't be a footnote in any of our stories. Like Colin Kaepernick, who took a knee famously in 2015, 2016, right?
Right.
In 2015, starting in 2015.
Quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers.
Former quarterback of San Francisco 49ers, who took him to the Super Bowl, by the way. Who took a knee for social injustice. Well, no, he actually sat for social injustice during the anthem. And a military veteran, is the one that actually told him to take a knee, because that's what they do out of respect for fallen soldiers. So it's actually a respect thing. And then just was blackballed for the next 4 years.
They said you can't protest, even though it was
can't
peaceful.
Have a peaceful protest
at a sporting event.
Peaceful.
People were all up in arms. So
yeah, I just want to point out there are people who have assaulted their significant others physically, who still play in the NFL, but this guy took just a peaceful protest for social injustice, and he's not playing. And I don't want to get totally into the weeds on this. Colin Kaepernick will be added to Madden 21, according to EA, and people are a little mad about this, about someone who hasn't played the game at the highest level for 4 years. I would like to ask those same people a question. I want to ask those people a question. I don't play Madden, so I can't really make it a Madden question. So I'm just going to make it a sports game question. Do you play WWE 2K games? And if you do you play as Hulk Hogan? Do you play as the Rock, Dwayne Johnson? Do you play as Stone Cold Steve Austin?
You play as the Ultimate Warrior.
Do you play as the Ultimate Warrior?
It's the same thing.
Wait, let me finish. Do you play any of the NBA? You're saying that's fake sports. That's not real sports. Okay, do you play NBA sports games? And if you do you play as Kobe Bryant? Because Kobe Bryant hasn't played a game in the NBA since 2016, 2018, right?
Sure.
I could have my years off.
Yeah.
2017 maybe.
What's the difference?
No, I think it was 2018. I think 2018. Because if you play your WWE 2K games as The Rock, or as anybody else from, the Attitude Era, if you play NBA 2K games as Kobe Bryant or any of Shaq or Kareem or Magic or Larry Bird, you can't say why does Madden have a guy who's a free agent officially listed? He can sign with any team he wants right now, who hasn't played a game for 4 years. Why if you play as The Rock or you play as Kobe, they haven't played an official game in the same amount of time. The Rock hasn't wrestled in 4 years, and Kobe hasn't played basketball in 4 years. So it's the same thing.
So the question is, what's the difference? What's the difference between the two? Is there?
There is no difference. They haven't played. They're free agents.
Right. So why is everybody up in arms over Colin Kaepernick? Doesn't make any sense. Why do they care? I know you're not going to say it, but I'll say it. All right? They're taking a political stand. All right? You mentioned before he took a knee. He's trying to fight for social injustice. He did it in the most respectful and proper way possible on a national stage to say, hey, look, there is a problem here. I'm going to do this thing, peacefully protest in this way, and this is what I'm standing for, or kneeling for in this case. And that was that. And people didn't like it. And I think people don't like this, right? If they make the veiled argument that, well, he's not a sports star anymore. Like you said, Kobe is not a sports star anymore. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, definitely not a sports star anymore. He's not wrestling
not
anymore.
A professional sports star. No.
Right.
Not at all.
So it's not like you're putting Steve-O in your game. It's not like you're putting Tim the Toolman Taylor or Mario in your football game, right? It's a former NFL pro, right? A very good.
Hey. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If you're a Jets fan, you probably want Mario in your game.
Well, maybe. They could use all the help they can get.
They could, because they suck, and they're
Right.
gonna suck this season.
All right. And even beyond that, even if he is in the game and you don't like it, you can still not play as him. All right. He's going to be a free agent.
He's a
right?
free agent. You don't have to sign him in your game.
Exactly. If you don't want him as your quarterback, perfectly fine. You can just not play with him. And he's not in the game anymore. No mess, no fuss.
You know what? If you're a Giants fan, you probably want Mario because they lost to the Steelers today.
Oh my God! Oh, don't tell me that, Dan. Don't tell me that. Oh, so yeah, I don't know, man. If that's the hill you want to die on for that, by all means do it. But I think it's stupid. Yeah, and I guess we're gonna end on that note. That is episode 235 in the books. Sorry to end on such a weird note, but it is what it is. That's the news of the week. So we want to thank all of our wonderful fans for doing all the wonderful stuff that you guys do. And if you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. Check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there if you're looking for more gaming goodness at gamingpodcastalliance.com. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
Keep gaming.